What do we got here?
I have a signed letter from Napoleon from 1809.
Whoa.
He's writing to his Minister of War regarding gunpowder replacement.
Okay, cool. So is that his initials?
That is his signature from that time period.
Okay. Looks a lot like mine, just...
This letter is different because it talks about gunpowder, which I don't think there's many letters out there with that documented. I'm going to be asking 3,000. Napoleon was a great general, and he knew how to micromanage, and that's what I like the most.
The little general.
The little general, that's right.
Napoleon was a really, really interesting guy. He was the lowest of the low when it comes to royalty. But since he was royalty, that really helped his rise to power. He was a little bit bat crazy. He'd work like 18, 19 hours a day. You know, the reason why he's bald right there is from pulling his hair out, because he tried to do everything.
Napoleon Bonaparte is considered one of the greatest military leaders in history. He had a little bit of an ego, though. When he was crowned emperor, he thought the only person actually worthy to put the crown on his head was himself.
So it's basically saying they were running short on gunpowder.
That's right.
The government never really centralized their gunpowder making. There was like a few hundred different people making gunpowder in France, and it was all different quality. It was an absolute nightmare for Napoleon.
Wow.
So, I'm assuming you want to sell it?
I do.
All right. How much you want for it?
I'm asking 3,000.
You know, I've been burned on Napoleon signatures before, and I don't want that happening again. So, do you mind if I have someone look at it?
Not at all.
I'm gonna give him a call. I'll get him down here. It'll take him 10 minutes. Okay?
Sounds good. I'm quite intrigued to find out the value of it. I'm pretty sure it's real, but it would be nice to see what the expert has to say.
How you been?
Parlez-vous français?
Oui.
Well, this is what I called you about. He says it's Napoleon. This letter is about talking to a general that we need more gunpowder. And if you think about it, that shouldn't be, you know, signed by Napoleon. It should be someone lower, but he was such a micromanager, he had to do it himself.
Of course. That's just how the guy was, and it kind of lends to his character.
So is this legit?
Okay, well, the first thing I want to do is I'd like to see it out of glass so I can see if it's printed or not.
No problem.
Can you take that out for me?
Of course.
Okay. You know, through the years, I've seen my fair share of Napoleon signatures. They're kind of rushed, hurried, more or less sloppy, like he just wanted to get through the stack of things he had to sign. So the first thing I'm going to do is just put this on top of it. We're going to just kind of look at the ink on here. See the ink right here?
Yeah.
You see how it kind of starts to cut through it here? And when I look deeper here, there's no doubt in my mind that's live ink on there.
Okay, cool.
The next thing I want to do is rule out any kind of secretarial versions or something else someone signed for him. The most typical Napoleon signature is more or less this style. So basically what we see is almost an NP. I mean, his P's a little oversized here. Here's another document. We'll take a look at it again. We see the same type of letter formations. He comes right under here. Look at this pressure he puts here. He's putting that pressure there.
So you think it's 100% legit?
No question about it, yeah.
Right
All
on.
great signs, yeah. Great piece.
Good.
Okay, so what's it worth?
The marketplace has really been flooded with this guy's signature. There's a lot of it out there. And, you know, collectors still collect it, but you don't have a tidal wave of people trying to rush out and get Napoleon signatures. Based on all that, the value of this is right about $1,500.
Okay.
Well, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, good to see you. Good luck with that, man.
Thanks.
Nice talking to you. You know, I think a piece signed by Napoleon, especially framed up with a picture of him, I think that's something that is going to go pretty quick because people do know this guy. He's a big part of world history, and he's still a desirable autograph.
So you're not going to give me 3,000, are you?
No. Well, now when I can probably sell it for right around 1,500. There's definitely value here. I mean, it's not like it's worthless, but, you know, 1,500 bucks is a lot of money for someone to spend on an autograph.
2,000.
Why in the world would I ever do 2,000 when I can sell it for 1,500? Okay, I'll tell you what, I will give you $1,000.
Can't do it.
Thanks for bringing it in, man.
Thank you.
Change your mind, come and see me.
Okay. I'm pretty disappointed because I just figured that it was worth more based on the contents of the letter. I guess I'll take it back home, put it in my collection, and wait another 200 years to see if it'll go up in value from there.
Hey, how's it going, man?
How's it going?
We're good. What do we got?
We have a 1763 French flintlock pistol.
Okay. You mind if I see it?
Absolutely.
These are cool, man. Where'd you get it?
My grandfather passed away. We were cleaning out his attic, found it in a box. No notes, no nothing.
Okay, well, there's no way your grandpa's old enough to be using this thing.
I came down to the pawn shop today to sell my grandfather's flintlock pistol. With it being manufactured when it was, you have no idea what type of historical events it actually saw. There seems to be a lot of replicas out there, so I think I have the real thing here.
Nice. These were actually developed back in the 1500s. The way it would work is you would put your powder in there, pull the trigger, flint would strike steel, drop a bunch of sparks in there, out goes the bullet.
All right.
The flintlock mechanism was one of the first reliable and relatively inexpensive ways of shooting a gun. And in the late 17th century, they were extremely popular in Europe and North America. It's always cool to see one of these guns up close, and I might even keep this one for myself if I can get it at a good price. So, what are you looking to do with it, man?
I think I'd like to sell it. I'm not really into the older firearms.
Gotcha. What are you looking to get out of it?
Went online, looked around. They're going for about $3 grand.
Some of them are. $3,000, it'd have to be a lot rarer, a lot more ornate, or have some kind of historical tie to it.
Right.
I'll, give you like $1,000, man.
Come on, man. It's my grandfather's, so.
I get you, man, but it's not like anybody ever threw them away. I mean, there's a lot of them out there still.
How many do you guys have right now?
Probably 30.
That's not the answer I wanted.
I'll do 1,400.
1450.
All right, man. Meet me over here, I'll write you up.
All right, thanks. $1,450. I feel all right about that. I should be able to go buy something new to go play with.
What do we got?
The 1632 Map of France.
In 1632, probably 100 to 1 odds that you ever got more than 20 miles from where you were born.
What do you do if there's only like 4 girls in your village?
I guess you're fighting somebody.
I came to the pawn shop today to sell my 1632 Map of France. I'd like to sell it because I've got several other maps, and I only paid about $100 for it. I'm hoping to get as much as $1,700 for this, but I won't take less than $600.
Where did you get this?
At an estate sale.
Do you know anything about it?
This map is pretty awesome. I mean, it's over 300 years old. It's the first map to show all of France's highways, and it was made by a very famous map maker, Nicholas Sanson.
Yeah, Sanson was probably the most famous map maker in his day. And when the royal court needed a map made, he was the go-to guy.
So how'd they figure out the whole shape of France and everything?
Believe it or not, thousands of years ago, there were devices that measured at very long distances. If you had an understanding of geometry, you could make a pretty good map. It was a long, tedious process, but they got it done, and a lot of times they were pretty accurate.
People have been making maps for thousands and thousands of years, but it wasn't like they had GPS technology to help them out. So sometimes they just had to say, what the hell, and take a guess.
Okay, I don't speak French, but I know mer means sea, and whatever this says right here, I'm assuming Britain. So, I mean, the English Channel right here, we have the Mediterranean. Everything looks right on it. It's the right kind of engraving. It's the right fonts. This is hand-laid paper. This thing has some staining on it, some spotting. It's in pretty good shape. It's neat that it's done by Sanson.
This is an amazing antique map. It has real value as an historical piece and a work of art. And the fact that it was made by a famous map maker will have collectors jumping at the chance to buy it.
All right, so do you want to pawn it? You want to sell it?
I'd like to sell it.
So how much do you want?
1,700.
Not going to happen. It's not worth that. I mean, I can pick up maps like this that are nicer for less. I'd give you like $300 for it.
Come on, man.
I mean,
It's over 300 years old.
Now, if this was of the New World in 1632 in Virginia, much bigger deal.
I mean, I literally believe this thing is worth right around 600 bucks the way it sits.
600?
That's what it's worth. I'll give you 400, and then I can make a little.
How about 1,000? I feel like it's worth 1,000 just because of the sheer age and the historical significance.
Okay, I'm willing to go up to 4.
I'm sorry, it's got more personal value to me than that.
All right, man, take care.
All right.
We weren't able to make a deal today, but I'm okay with it. It's a good map. I'm gonna put it back in my house, and it's gonna stay there for a long time.
What are you doing today?
What do we have here?
A 1777 French musket.
Damn, I know what they mean now by size matters.
I came into possession of this 1777 French musket, passed down from my grandfather to my father. This had to be a special gun at some point in time. I could use a little money right now. Times are hard.
So what do you know about this thing?
My grandfather used to collect guns. Where he got it from, I couldn't tell you, partner. All I know is it's big, real big.
So did you ever try and fire it?
No, I don't care for guns that much.
Okay.
I may be a big badass biker, but I don't like to shoot.
Yeah, every time I go shooting, I can't hear for 3 days.
That's true too, especially something that big.
This is a huge gun. It's like 5 feet long. It might not fit in my display case, but that doesn't mean I don't want it. There's a few things that look a little odd with it.
Okay.
On all old military rifles like this, there's a big wear mark right here, because you're always like this.
Looks like there is a little wear right here.
It would be a lot worse than that.
Okay.
There would be a big indent right there. Remember, they didn't throw these things away. It wasn't like today where every 10 years they come out with a new rifle in the Army. Back then, this rifle had probably been around for 50 years, 60 years before someone finally stole it and ran off with it. And the second concern I have is I've never seen a French musket before, but on English muskets, the breech is a lot larger here because this is where all the pressure is when it goes boom. I mean, I really haven't dealt a lot with French guns, but English guns, American guns, there should be proof marks right around here. And they could be on the side right here under this gook, but I'm really afraid to scratch it off there because you never take a wire brush to a gun. If this gun is real, there's no question that I want it. But before I make an offer, I have to have someone check it out. I would really like to get it checked out. I have a buddy that knows all about these things. And if I get you come in later today with this thing, I'll have him check it out, and he can tell us everything there is to know. Come back in later today.
All right.
I'll see you then.
I'll see you later. I can't wait to see the expert, because then Rick will know that this is a true 1777 French musket.
This is what I called you about.
All right, Rick, so what are your concerns?
The breech right here, it's not nearly large enough. There's no wear marks right here. And I didn't see no proof marks up top.
I'm an expert in antique arms and armor, especially 16th century through 18th century. What I love about the muskets from the 18th century is the history that is connected to them, especially French and British. That's what formed our country as we know it today. American Revolution, and before that, the French and Indian War. A little bit of the history behind the model 1777. It was a French infantry musket, and most of them were imported to the colonies for the American Revolution. These muskets were really too long. They were thinking the longer the barrel, the more accuracy you would have. And that proved later on not to be the case. This has got a lot of age grime to it. It has the appearance of having, you know, been out there. But I can tell you this, it was put there on purpose. All of this grime and what looks to be, you know, old rust is artificial patina that was put on by a paintbrush and then wiped off. From the hands, you'd also have a lot more rust deterioration here, and you'd also have it up here at the muzzle, because when they would have it, this is where your hands would be. The acid from your skin would deteriorate any of the iron. If this was truly a 1777 musket, it would be much beefier back here. If you tried to load this thing as is, it would just be a big pipe bomb and it'd blow up in your face.
Sean just confirmed everything I was having issues with. Sometimes I just hate it when I'm right. But that's why I call in experts.
From everything I'm seeing here, this most likely is a movie prop gun. This was very, very well made, but this was never intended to be fired.
I can't believe this isn't a real gun. This sucks.
If you could find some paperwork that said John Wayne held this gun in a movie,
Okay.
you would have something. You'd have a few $1,000.
All right. I guess now I got to take the gun home, do some research, see if I can find out anything good about it. I'll be back.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
What can I help you with?
Got this old travel kit.
Whoa.
Bet there be a lot of silver.
Yeah. Coming down the pawn shop today to sell my antique men's travel kit. There's hundreds of items inside, and almost all of it is sterling silver. I'm sure there's somebody out there that would love to have it more than I do.
This is amazing. Where did you get this?
From my aunt. She used to go into people's houses and clean them out for them. No, it was one of these deals where she'd clean out your attic if she got to keep some of the stuff she found up there.
Okay. This is early 1800s, and it's French. I have personally seen these things that are called Nassiers before, but I've never seen one this extreme. 200 years ago, people traveled by sailing ship and horse-drawn carriage. It took a long time to get anywhere. So on a long trip, anybody with any amount of money would bring as many comforts of home as possible. But whoever owned this traveling case was definitely traveling in style. The hallmarks are really, really small, but they are French. That is the maker's mark right there. Mm-hmm. That is the quality mark, which means it's 950 silver. I mean, there's just so many things here. Someone really took care of this set. It is amazing. I'd estimate the scrap value of the silver at least $1,500. But the quality and the craftsmanship of these pieces make it worth 5 or 10 times as much as that. I love old stuff like this, and I can't believe it is in my shop. What did you want to do with this?
Well, I'd like to sell it.
How much did you want for it?
Give me 10,000, we'll make a deal.
I'm not thinking that high. I'll go 6. A lot of the times, I buy things and I break them up. This is worth more as a whole than the parts. The odds are it's probably gonna take me years to sell it.
8,000 would be split in the difference. And I'll tell you what, if we can do it today, I'll take 7,000.
I'll go 6,500. And that is really my tops. I'm really thinking it's a difficult sell. I mean, it's a beautiful set, but
all right, I don't have anything invested in it, so I think we got a deal.
okay. 6,500.
Thanks.
You wanna go write them up, son?
Let's go do some paperwork, man.
Okay. I'm a little bit disappointed with the 6,500, but I can understand why they had to make the offer that they made.
65, my man. All right,
After all, they're taking the risk on reselling it.
hey, how's it going?
Good.
What do we got here?
I've got a pair of Air France posters by the artist Guy Georgette.
When you're making a poster to advertise a product, you want it to catch your eye. I look at this, it makes me want to go to Mexico, right?
Right. I'm at the pawn shop today to sell my 2 Air France travel posters, one from Mexico, the other from India. The posters are quite rare. The artist is quite famous, Guy Georgette, and these have become quite the collector's items. The colors are very dynamic, very bright colors. The condition is in pretty good condition. There's a couple of slight tears on each one. I'm hoping to get $1,500 for my posters today.
Guy Georgette, very colorful, very cool. He was given a certain amount of liberty by Air France, as long as it said Air France, and you can tell it was for travel. Definitely cool that they let him sign his work, too.
Right.
Air France really didn't mind because he was a fairly well-known artist at the time. People today will still hang these in their house, not because they love Air France, but because they like the pictures.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of have that feel behind them where it's not just an advertisement. It feels kind of like art.
Yeah.
So where'd you get them?
So I picked up these at an estate sale up in Salt Lake City. I was really struck by the colors and the uniqueness of them.
It's really cool that you're actually even able to come across them, because when it came time to put a new poster up, a new picture up, these things got torn down and thrown in the trash. Very rare that somebody actually kept some of them. You have a few tears, obviously. Nothing that a frame couldn't fix. Maybe a nice backing on them, something like that. Are you looking to sell them?
Yeah, I'm looking to sell them. Done a little bit of research and looking to sell the pair for $1,500.
All right. It is somewhat of a newer market. You know, you have advertising collectors, you have poster collectors. Let me bring a guy in to take a look at them and kind of give me an idea of what they might be worth.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
All right, well, hang out. I'll be back in a few, okay?
I definitely welcome the expert. I'm pretty confident that they are originals from the 1960s.
There you go.
Yeah, here we are.
Air France travel posters.
Guy Georget, yeah.
Guy Georget. I mean, they look nice enough to me. What can you tell them about?
Well, yeah, they look great. Guy Georget, very popular, very prolific artist. I think his career began in the early 40s with Spanish tourism posters. But he did a lot for the French Postal Service, I think some for Philips as well. Air France, this is probably what he's most well known for.
Okay.
These, I believe, are from the early 60s, and they look like they've held up well. Do you have some concerns about them, or?
I mean, there are a few tears, you know, but it's always a little bit tricky with me. I mean, are they ads? Are they posters? Are they art?
They are ads, but art as well. You know, art with a function, let's say. And Georget, you know, as prolific as he was, he did quality work. And, you know, it's true to his signature, being on the artwork. That was kind of part of the process for them. They wanted him to get credit for creating these excellent pieces.
You know, they got to be somewhat rare. I mean, they were ads, so when they had a new ad, they just tore them off the walls and put something else up, right?
Right, yeah, these are ephemeral. They were not intended to last more than weeks or, you know, maybe a month or so. So typically, I mean, a poster like this is, you know, meant to have been thrown away by now, so certainly.
Okay, and what's the Air France market like?
Very good. The market's been really good on the Air France stuff. Very collectible. I would say, obviously, more so the earlier works. The 30s and 40s can go in the thousands, 3, 4, 5,000.
Okay.
They look to be authentic, just at a glance. They seem to be the appropriate size, 39 tall, 24.5 wide. I mean, the colors are bright. So yeah, 100%, I believe these are authentic.
Great.
Okay, and so that being said, what do you think they're worth?
Well, the India is the rarer of the two. And sometimes they both appear with French text, but that doesn't necessarily play into their scarcity so much. The state of this, though, the condition of this, I believe it's a little less valuable right now than the Mexico. I'd put that one at about $200 and then $250 for the Mexico. And if you linen back them, you could get a lot more. You can get in the $500 or $600 range.
Okay, well, I appreciate you coming down, man.
My pleasure. Good luck.
So I was really kind of hoping for more for you.
Yeah, so was I.
Give you 200 for the pair?
I don't know if I can do 200. I'd do 500 for the pair.
I gotta linen back them. If I'm gonna linen back them, I might as well frame them. I'll tell you what, I'll do $250 for the pair. That is a really good deal.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do 250. What about 300?
250 is all I'm gonna do.
All right, I'll do 250.
All right, cool, we got a deal. 250, meet me around the corner. We gotta do some paperwork.
Sounds good. With the money I just made, I will probably fly off to the next state sale and buy some more items and bring it into the shop.